So today's video is all about what did I do to overcome all the barriers or the hindrances that I had before I started my fitness journey. I had a whole lot of barriers or thoughts which limited me from getting started on my fitness journey. I have talked about all of these in my previous video. So let me take one by one of all these hindrances. The first one which I said is all about attitude. Chalta hai attitude. The different kinds of health challenges that I was facing while coming back from office. I used to often get breathless. I used to be so irritated at the end of the day. My weekends, I used to sleep most of the time. This is the time that I felt, how long is this chalta hai attitude going to last? It was a thinking, a deliberation that I did, sitting and thinking through whether really it's okay kind of a attitude is going to help me sail through this phase. I realized it's not just affecting myself, but it is having a big impact on my loved ones, on my family, on my son. I couldn't be playing with him with all the energy that's required to play with a toddler. I was getting irritated. I didn't have the patience to listen to his beautiful talks that he would do as a small child, the kind of questions he would ask. I didn't have the patience to respond to those. I realized that it's not just me who's getting affected, but I'm impacting that curiosity, the intelligence of a little one who is growing up watching me. That's when I thought, chalta hai attitude nahi chalta hai. I have to do something to overcome this. And what helped me was that decision, the realization and the decision, something which held me back. It was this viewing of what's happening around me, the way I am negatively impacting the people around me. All the health challenges that I was having, that was not really having much of an impact, but when I saw the kind of impact that I'm having on other people, that's when I decided that I do not want to set this kind of an example for my son. That helped me decide. I do not want to be an unhealthy spouse to a person who is so disciplined about fitness, who is taking efforts to improve the fitness of others. I do not want to be that unhealthy spouse. I do not want other people to question my life partner that, hey, you seem to be so disciplined, you help others. What about your wife? I did not want my son to view me being in a bed rest for not 1 day, for 2 days, 3 days and more, depending on other people to do my regular stuff when I should be the one who should be doing things, running around for my son. These major incidences helped me to come out of that attitude and gave me that power to decide that enough is enough and I have to get started on my fitness journey. And once I took that decision, I immediately started the next day. There was no stopping then. When I decided, all other things, all the excuses which I had blown up to like a big proportion, they just seem negligible. I spoke about the circle. I tried to mingle around with people who were interested in their own health, who were genuinely taking efforts in spite of their challenges to do something for their own health. I started talking to them. I started reading things about good health. I got associated with a group of people who are focused on their own fitness. I reduced my association with people who are not bothered about their own health. I stopped, or rather I minimized mingling with them. It's the decision that gave me the power to do all of these things. All my excuses, I spoke about that I do not like to go to the gym. There are various aspects and arenas of fitness. Who says gym is the only thing that can help you with your fitness? You can take up any active sport. You can do so many things, and I just did that. Things which I like doing, the kind of exercise that I enjoy doing. I picked that up and I started following my regime in that. I set up a routine for myself. All the excuses that I had, be it the exercise clothes, I came out of that zone. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have like great outfits. Simple basic sports shoes would do. Get started, then you can buy something else. Some basic t-shirts would do. You don't have to really get into some, lovely branded exercise wear. I spoke about my hair. I just landed up in the salon, and I told the hairdresser that, hey, just chop this off. For almost a period of about 1 year, the excuse which kept nagging me about this long hair, I just took that excuse off. I just chopped off my hair and I went with a very, very short haircut. It might be silly for you, but it was something which was stopping me, so I just got rid of it. The decision gave me the power to do that. Time. I just pushed myself for a day. That night I pushed myself for the second day. The second night I pushed myself for the third day. And I took each day at a time. I did not think about how do I do it for a month, how do I do it for a year. I just thought about 1 day at a time. Of course it was difficult. I would get up 15 minutes before my exercise and I would rush. I may be tying my shoelaces while the warm-up was on, but I at least got something done. End of the day, when my energy levels were awesome, I realized it's okay even if it is a workout for about 20 minutes, maybe not half an hour, but that's definitely making me feel better, so why not? Before that, I had to push myself for me to realize the benefits that good fitness brought in. I had to push myself, and I did. Once you decide, it just gives you the power. Things seem to fall in place. It's not going to be difficult at that time to say no to that second helping of ice cream, your favorite flavor. The same me who would have this entire big tub of ice cream all by myself. I started finding joy and satisfaction in just 2 tablespoons of ice cream. How did that happen? It was the power of that decision. कि मुझे करना है, बस हो गया, अब और इंतजार नहीं, मुझे करना है. The motivation bit, all my previous experiences of doing something and then falling, crashing. I changed my outlook. I said, this is for life. It's like my habit, it's like my lifestyle. So I will not expect anything out of it. If I feel good, awesome. If I don't feel, it's okay. I just removed the motivation bit out of it. And I started looking at it as a habit. कि मुझे ये करना है. Wherever we are, at home, for any business conferences, on vacations, don't we wake up? Don't we brush our teeth? Don't we have a bath? Why can't we exercise? Why can't we watch over our meals? I just made it a part of my lifestyle that I should be doing some bit of it daily without expecting any kind of rewards. Because rewards would come in for everyone, but at different intervals in time. It might be instant for some, within a week for some. It might take 3 months for some, like it did for me. If I would have based my fitness journey on the results, on the motivation, I would have stopped in the first 2 weeks itself. But because I decided that I'm just going to do it irrespective of what changes happen in my body, that made it possible for me to go on and on. Similarly, I overcame all the excuses that I had. And it is possible. Let me tell you, there is a very, very small percentage of people for whom going about fitness in like the perfect way, with all the time, with all the resources, is possible. Almost everyone will struggle in different ways or the other. They may have time issues, they may have money issues, they may have family support issues. When you're stepping out for doing an exercise, there might be 3 people at your home saying, hey, when are you going to do these things at home? But you have to understand that you need to give yourself a priority. Only then you will be able to take care of yourself and of others around you. So yes, it is possible. I have seen that overcoming your barriers, your hindrances, your obstacles is possible only if you decide to. I did it for myself. I helped my customers to do it for themselves. So if you are someone who's facing these obstacles, and if you haven't written them down already, write them down, think around it, think the way they are currently negatively impacting your life. And I wish that you get all the power, all that is required, all the strength to take those decisions to overcome all the obstacles you are facing, and that you get started on your health journey today, at this moment, immediately.